Hello, I'm Philippa Smith, and I want to talk about effective video conferences. And this is really not to be mixed up with desk conferencing, webinars, or virtual classrooms. So we're all on the same page. Video conferencing is where you have a room of people all together connected to either one or multiple rooms of other people using video conference technology. Namely, a big webcam and a TV screen so everyone can see. There are lots of challenges. You can't see, people are so small on the screen, you feel ignored, perhaps having to listen to other rooms talking. You might find that you can't follow what's going on because the host room is having its own interaction, which kind of excludes you in the other rooms. My first thought before we even get into how to do a good video conference is checking if it's really the right technology to use to have your meeting. If you have roughly equal numbers in each office, then maybe it's a good choice. But if you're facilitating and you have a single or paired individuals in satellite rooms and a main group in one room, I caution you and suggest that you may need to use desk conferencing as it's more inclusive to get everyone on an equal platform. So, assuming you're going to actually use video conferencing, there's a few things to note, especially if you're hosting or presenting the meeting. First, your priority must be with the remote attendees. I know that seems strange when you'll have colleagues in the room with you, but they'll be engaged by the nature of proximity. Focus on the remote attendees. How? As you notice people walking into the room on the video conference, call out to them and say hello. Ask them to do some audio and visual checks. As people sit down, ask them to sit closely together and zoom the webcam in so that you can closely see their faces. People usually dislike this, but it will improve your session. Invite one or two people from each remote office to act as a facilitator for the room, encouraging discussion and maybe sharing comments from the group. As you start, pay attention to the remote rooms. Don't talk to the room in front of you, but look directly at the webcam. Invite the remote room to speak and do introductions, asking individually or collectively who's there and what their objectives are. Get them talking. If the room you're in asks a question, repeat it so that everyone can hear it. Ask people not to hold side conversations or bring them into the main discussion. The most important element is to facilitate equal discussion and contribution. The most effective way to do this is through comments. Use facilitation skills. Most people rarely have questions, and if they do, they're often embarrassed to ask. So instead of asking for questions, ask for comments. Ask people to share their view on what you've shared, or perhaps even an experience. Don't ask if anyone has a question. Instead ask, does anyone have a comment or an experience to add to what I've shared? Finally, do allow time for a bit of group work and participation, particularly in training. Get people working in pairs and discussing little topics, perhaps only for 2 minutes, and then invite them to share and comment. It might be quicker to name people and invite them by name first, and then ask if anyone has anything else to add afterwards.